Hey there, what's up, you beautiful gamers, and do be welcome to Role-Playing Games. You see, 2010's decade brought us so many great RPGs, and today we're gonna take a look at my personal top 10 of said decade. Do bear in mind that it's my only personal take on it, and that's just my point of view and choice for them. So, let's take a look at number 10. Outward. One of the hidden gems out there. Outward came and proved that split co-op is still a thing, and rather an enjoyable one for that matter. This beauty also proves that graphics don't make a great game. The character building, progression, and planning in this game is just great, and the survival elements really make you feel immersed in it when you decide to take on a quest to explore a dungeon. Many times your worst enemy here can be lack of preparation for your upcoming journey, and that really adds to the atmosphere of the game, and each experience make you learn from your mistakes to be more prepared for the next adventure. Moving on to number 9, we have Pillars of Eternity. If you, like me, grew up playing the gorgeous worlds of the Forgotten Realms, then this is just the game for you. Pillars of Eternity, along with Divinity Original Sin, pioneered the resurgence of the old-school CRPGs in the modern times. The strongest aspect of this jewel is its marvelous and gorgeous writing that delivers a world mythos that can absorb you for hours and hours just to keep learning more of this alluring world. And then, moving on to number 8, we have Mass Effect 2. You see, Mass Effect 2 was for many of us the apogee of the franchise. It was also one of the most in-depth decision management masters, allowing you to import the outcomes of your choices from the previous and up to the following entry. Gameplay was so highly improved from Mass Effect 1, which, despite having already some strong and interesting foundations, it wasn't really anything that mind-blowing. And the characters were just excellently written and handled. You will be forever my waifu, Cris. Number 7, we have Fallout New Vegas. Yeah, this is one of the controversial ones. Yet, one thing that no one can deny is that the Fallout games are one of the most important and greatest RPGs of all times. And despite bearing the mark of the more modern style RPGs, there's this nostalgic feeling to Fallout 2 that you just can't shake from your head when you play it. Just hopes that we get some official re-releases or remasters for this one as well. I'm pretty sure that most of you, just like me, have sunk so much time in different playthroughs of it. And then, number 6, we have the jack of all trades of RPGs. It's hard not to compare any open world game to this titan of the genre, and despite being a game that has been out there for nearly a decade by now, Skyrim never seems to age that much. Even its remasters and re-releases still manage to hold up and play marvelously, whether if it's the graphics or the world content of it. While you can argue that the game doesn't have the best combat system out there, it's undeniably that you can always find a way to play it differently than the previous time, and that every time that you go back to it, because let's be real, we all keep coming back for more, there's always new stuff for you to find in it. And in number 5, we have Dragon's Dogma, one of the most underrated RPGs of all time. Never have I seen a blend of Western and Eastern RPG elements so well implemented. The Shadow of the Colossus-like monster fighting was really a joy to experience, and the various character building along with monsters' weak spots made the game so versatile. While the story isn't that engaging at first and some portions of it might feel slow-paced, it culminates with such a philosophical world-woven creation in some excellently written narrative. There is as well this endgame content that really makes you enjoy the grinding aspect of it in order to finish off your character building. And then in number 4 we have Bloodborne. One of the pioneers of the newly established Souls-like genre. Bloodborne proved that you can follow a formula faithfully and still be so different enough to have your very own personality. The more fast-paced and aggressive combat system was really a breath of fresh air and something to strive yourself to adapt in order to overcome the game. Also, the world setting delivers such a beautiful universe inspired by the Victorian age and Lovecraft's work that learning more and more of it was just a delightful experience. And then in number 3 we have Divinity Original Sin 2. The franchise that's the herald of the resurging of the classical CRPGs of yore. In a time where the highest popularity in RPG lies on a mixture between adventures and action-like combat system, Divinity Original Sin stood against the more popular releases and demonstrated that old school is still cool, bringing so much new game mechanics while still staying faithfully to its ancestors, delivering so much customization and freedom to combat that you could pull up stuff that even the developers didn't know it could be done to overcome the many obstacles of the game. And then, in number 2 we have The Witcher 3. You see, it's always hard to live up to the masterpiece you're building on. The Witcher games are the living proof that an author's work can actually be treated in a respectful, faithful, and loving manner. The world in The Witcher, along with its dark and raw reality universe building, mastered how a game narrative can be directed while still caring about the rest of the things that aren't part of the main story, to the point that every single bit and portion of the game makes you feel like it's a crucial part of the world you are experiencing. And in the powerful number 1 we have, yes of course, Dark Souls. Never in my life have I enjoyed being so violently raped by anything. Not that I have ever been, for that matter. While it was Demon Souls, the one who came and proposed this beautifully new established subgenre to the industry, it was Dark Souls the one who made it explode. For me, it wasn't a difficult game in a sense that hard was just some attractiveness and something you could presume having overcome to others, but rather a game where you needed to really pay attention to your surroundings at all times, a game where mechanics and attack animations were so surgically placed that every death that I had, I knew it was my fault and not of the game, of some artificial placed difficulty. And with every death I knew that I had to understand it and become better just for the experience of it. Dark Souls really took the role-playing to a point where you actually felt in a perilous and real fantasy world. Do remember that this is only my personal take on the matter. I know that I'm joining the last decade stops way too late, but I do want to know what games you consider to be the best RPGs of this last decade, and why. I would very much love to see you describe your favorite gems. It's always nice to hear or read people's about stuff that captivates them. Then do let me read your comments down in the comment section below. Also, if you like this stuff, consider sticking around by subscribing. With that being said, I'll see you beautiful gamers in the next one.